Hey everybody, how you doing? Kelly here. I just wanted to jump on real quick and show you all a couple little add-ons I've recently put on my bike. Nothing crazy or nothing worthy of an install video, but now that I've got them on, I figured I'd just kind of show them to you and show you one thing that hasn't quite worked out the way I hoped it would. But we'll get to that in a second. So these are the three things that I have bought: a charger, a phone mount, and a camera. I've always said I needed a secondary camera to help me with my multi-view shots instead of bouncing one camera back and forth and around and trying to make things work the best I can with one camera. But we'll get to that momentarily. First, I want to show you this phone mount. This phone mount I really like. I did have a quad lock on my Vulcan S. Unfortunately, when I got rid of my Vulcan S, I somehow forgot to take the quad lock off, or I lost it. Could be either one. But I decided I didn't want to get another quad lock, frankly, because I don't have a phone that a quad lock case works with. Now that you can buy an adapter to stick onto your, say, OtterBox phone case, and then that'll lock onto the quad lock. But that's one thing I had to buy, was an adapter. I had to buy the anti-dampening system, and then of course the lock itself. So all these things added up. This phone mount from whoever that is has everything I need. So I like this back here, the wishbone, the double ball joint setting, so I can kind of move it back forth however I want. I can move it, I can set it up like this, I can set it up like that, I can, move it almost however I want, within reason. Sorry, I had to put you down for a second so I could use both hands to tighten it all back up again. So as I was saying, it already has a dampening system built into it right there, those springs moving around, two on the top, two on the bottom. The other thing I like is right back here, I hope you can see it, this lock. It'll lock the phone into place. So let me grab my phone real quick. Okay, got my phone. So you put it in the bottom, press down, and the top end expands up. Slide your phone in, and you come back, and let's see, I think you can see it, that little tab right there. Bring that all the way around, clicks into place, and now nothing's moving, and you got your vibration dampener for your camera. And that little phone mount was only $31.47 off of Amazon. And here it is again. So I like that one. That to me is a win. So here's another win, and that's the USB phone charger. If I'm going to have a phone mount, I need to charge it. That's where this little guy right here comes in. You lift back that rubber flap, and it's got double charging ports right straight to my phone, easy peasy. And it's got an on and off switch. Now, how I put this in was, it's got a handlebar clamp here, but it was too big for my bar, so I had to add a little spacer, which I had laying around from another install thing. So I had that spacer, and I took the cable and zip tied it, and I tucked the tails of the zip ties into the inside of the bike so they're not hanging out after I trimmed them, and ran the wire down through the frame down there, came back out and ran it on the back side of the loom, and then down on the front side of the heat shielded loom so it's not on my head, and then and then went ahead and bundled it there against another loom, and it is currently tucked in and or plugged into my already established pigtail for the trickle charger. And with that, it's operational. So here's the kill switch. Turn it on, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's reading my current voltage at 12.9. And then I can turn it off, seal it back up again. And I think one of the things I like best about it is the fact that I can just unplug it, take it off my handlebars, and I don't have to do anything else. Or I can unplug it and then plug in my trickle charger when the snow hits, and it can stay there and be just fine. I don't have to do anything else to it. It just literally plug and play, and I love that. Now, the camera. Oh, that charger, that was $16.99. And that's this little guy right there. Again, off Amazon. So cool. That leaves this guy. This guy here, I saw in a Facebook ad. 4K, you know, you see all the stuff, right? But you know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have image stabilization, which makes it completely worthless for motovlogging or anything really. And I've got a few clips that I've saved, and I'll show them to you when I edit this video. I'll bake them in. But let me unpack this real quick and I'll show you what it is. Okay, here we go. Oh, I have a visitor. Hello. You gonna let me pet you today? This guy is kind of a stray, kind of a, not really feral, but a little bit of a stray that comes around every so often. He's a nice little Tom. He's getting in my business now. So it comes with like this waterproof case, various various mounts, but oh, and here's the actual camera itself. You got it. Oh, kitty, stop. You got to do like a 10-second hold down on the power button, and then you flip once to turn it on, and it's recording. And I might add this in there, so I'm looking at it, you're looking at it, it's looking at the kitty now, and then it turns, and then we just turn it off. And it's got a long hold down to turn it off as well. And so this is like the mount that you would use to hook it onto your helmet. Just a bunch of stuff. And maybe the most useful thing, maybe, is this necklace mount. It's magnetic. You stick this under your shirt, you stick that to it, and then it just hangs there. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed. That was $85. And if it had image stabilization, it would be the bomb. It would be so cool. But it doesn't. It's totally useless for motovlogging or anything of real activity. And like I said, I'll put in some short video clips at the end of this, and you can see for yourself. It's just, it was just a huge disappointment. Anyways, that's all I've got. That's all I've done. For another camera, I might end up with a DJI Osmo Action 3, go a previous generation to the one I have now. Save a little bit of money, a little bit cheaper. I will be honest with you, the only thing I am unhappy with the Osmo Action is how unfriendly the buttons are. The power button and the record button. So hard to feel them through my gloves. In fact, most of the time I don't. I end up taking my gloves off while I'm riding just so I can hit the buttons. And I don't like that. I wish the buttons were more tactile or much more friendly to use and deal with. but I like the camera itself. It's never failed me, never lost footage on me. So, oh well. Anyway, that's all I got. See you guys later. Have a good one. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this target and we're going to put it on this approximately 25-yard range